So I was going to talk about, I had this incident occur when I went up north. It always does, though. So I don't paint myself as a victim. I just prepare. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Not Buddha, Bubba. Bubba, Lisa Z. Um, and I'm sure a lot of you in here can relate. But I figured we just talk about it because I know I've gotten emails from people going through stuff. They're like, you should just get certified as a life coach. Maybe I should. I've had enough psychology classes. I'd probably pass it on the first go around. Should I be a life coach? God knows I've lived it. Seriously. Do you know how hard it is? And 10 toes, you can definitely, growing up, back when we grew up as kids, parents, kids were seen and not heard, right? And some kids are very empathetic, very nurturing, very loving, very much wanting that unconditional love. And then there's some parents out there that are cold. And for some reason, you are their target. And it's probably because you're so feeling. You know what I'm saying? And you become a target as a black sheep, we'll call you. And the reason I don't live where I used to live is because I've got a couple of those people that want to wear my skin, be in my business, very intrusive. They don't take no for an answer, and they're very verbally abusive. So I stay away from them. And unfortunately, my daughter's going through that with one of those people right now. And it's disheartening to watch her go through it. But my son and I told her, well, that's the reason we're not around here anymore. Because we're the kind of people that we will remove it from our life, even if it means we have to leave. Hi, Yorkie Mom. So when I was up there, it's kind of funny. I don't like hypocrites either. So it's kind of funny when how do you put it? Try not to get too, I don't know, too detailed. My sister and I don't like him. Does that with my youngest daughter. Just I know. Beth, I know. Oh, he does. Listen, he does this with my daughter to get me to respond to him, just so he can have my attention, good or bad. And it is really a waste of my time because it doesn't matter. They change the rules as they go. So, and I deal with this from my own mother and from my ex-husband, and they both live up there. So no thanks. And I'm kind of like a go with the flow. Let's like figure things out, and then everybody's happy. But they like to throw monkey wrenches in things so that I don't know if it's a be in control, be in charge, or it's so insecure that if they're not in control, they don't know what to do with themselves. I haven't figured it out. I think it's a little both, to be honest with you. So there's always a target. Well, I have made it very clear in the last, I would say, 10 years, no, 15 years that it is not tolerated in my world. I'm really feel bad for my daughter going through it. My daughter's a very tough girl, but I see her pain. And I'm very empathetic to it. I just said, listen, you're going to meet a lot of people like this in your lifetime. And you have to decide who to give to and who to pull back from. You can't just be someone who gives to everyone. You can't trust everyone. You can only trust those who don't hurt you. Do you see what I'm saying? And even though it's apparent and it's painful, you still have to have boundaries. That took me a long time to do. I always absorbed the little snide remarks and the put downs, and I used to always just absorb that, but then I would walk away and cry because it is hurtful. But now, no. you can't change my mind on your behavior. And I've learned that. And that's one thing you do learn when you've had enough, is these people will constantly try to change your mind on how you feel about things. Well, you know what they say, intuition is about 85 to 90% true. If you feel it, it's true. It's happening. It's real. You're not crazy. So getting away from people like that and finding who you are is your only defense, because eventually you're gonna tell them the boundaries, and if they don't respect them, you're gonna walk away. And that's what my daughter just did, which it's hard to do. And I told her, I said, you don't walk away from anyone that if something happened to them, you would spend the rest of your life feeling guilty. You have to make a decision, and you have to decide. And if you give in, then it doesn't work. It negates everything you did, and all it does is make you crazy. And you can't let people do that to you. Yeah. My two nieces had to set boundaries with their dad. I know, isn't it sad? Do you know what's weird that I have found? That usually what goes along with that kind of person is alcoholism. At first they were divided on how they felt. Yeah, this is like the third time my daughter has done this, but this time I think she's like serious. Because he showed up at her work and she kicked him out. And see, yeah, it is hard. It's hard. Well, I've done that. Like, I believe in honor your mother and father. I believe in that 100%. It's in the Bible. I believe it. So I can honor, but I don't have to like, and I don't have to tolerate. I can honor their role. I can honor putting me on this earth as part of the credit physically, but I've made choices in my life. And my daughter knows that, and maybe that's why she sees, and my son's the same way. He's like, yeah, I don't tolerate that anymore in my life. And I said to my daughter, well, the reason you keep the reason this keeps happening to you is because he doesn't take you serious. Like, he thinks you're just, oh, come on, that kind of shit. They're very abusive people. Boy, they don't like no for an answer, that's for sure. Yeah, it really sucks. But I'm here for her. I got her back. My door's always open. She knows it. And, I mean, I had to move 240 miles away to get away from it. Long time ago. Long time ago. And then I went back, raised my kids there, and left again. No, I gotta go. No. And I don't have anything against my mom. We just don't get along. She is always right, and whatever it is. And you can't. How do you have a relationship with a right fighter when everything you think is stupid and wrong, no matter how old you get, how educated you get, and they're always right? How do you do that? I don't get in fights with people because it's not worth my energy. It's stupid. But when people add alcohol to situations, I have no respect for them. It's just the way it is. That's how your mom was? Ugh. And now I'm 55 years old, and some people, like, will still treat you like you're a freaking child. You're like, okay, this is where we're gonna have a problem. I've seen a lot of that stuff in the Army with my soldiers. Not a fun situation at all. And some people feed off it like they're possessed by a demon. That's crazy. That's one reason why I moved 60 miles away. Yeah, 10 toes, you know. Sounds exactly as my mom was. She's gone now. That's sad. And that's why I will always love and honor my mom. My dad isn't a gem. We get along a lot better. But you remember, my parents grew up in a very selfish era. Kids are seen in that herd. But there's no excuse in this day and age. There's no excuse to be arm's length from your own children. Isn't that weird? See, it is for me. Because my kid calls me and I'm in the car and gone. I don't sit there and try to figure out how I don't have to be there for them. I mean, I've never needed them. Trust me. My parents, trust me, they know. I've never called them. I could be living in a cardboard box and I wouldn't call them. Nope. Because you will spend the rest of your life listening to how you need to live, how you should have lived, how you shouldn't have gotten that situation. And the funny part is, I remember as a child, my grandparents always making sure we had everything. So that's the weird part. That's the hypocritical part I don't like. And I don't like people who profess to be Christians, and then they judge others. I don't like that either. And I always bring it up, but then I'm a bitch. Okay, well, then I'll be a bitch. But don't you dare start talking scripture to me when you're living a different lifestyle than what you're preaching. I got a problem with that. So that's kind of where I'm at. I was so frustrated I couldn't wait to get home. Like, I couldn't get home fast enough. I couldn't. And as much as I love spending time with my daughter, as soon as these two people know I'm in town, they come out of the woodwork. I'm like, what? I told my daughter, quit telling people I'm in town. Now I don't have to worry about it. I can roll into town anytime I want. Nobody will even know. There you go. Because then we deal with drama, and I don't want to deal with drama. But man, they like to poke until they can get a response. They got no response out of me. I just kept living my best life. Kept going out to my Mexican restaurant. I was decorating my daughter's house, and I didn't play into any of it. So that's what you do. And it's hard. When you're alone, battling that, it's hard. And you're trying not to, like, say anything that would... I never liked when parents who are divorced, like, he's an asshole, she's a bitch. I don't like when people do that. So I don't do it. But inside my head, oh yeah, it's just winding around big time. So sometimes I have to go decompress. Now my daughter's taken on that sport. When she's overwhelmed, she'll take a drive, sit out at a lake, listen to music, and decompress. My parents were really good parents until the divorce. It was very damaging. All divorce is damaging. It is. You got one, it's just damaging. My parents, like, talked shit about each other, hated each other. And it's like, oh my God. Seriously, grow up. Max is still that way. He just talks shit on me. I'm like, dude, I don't even know you. It's been 18 years. You can hate me all you want, but our son's coming home, and we need to make this work. Divorce is horrible. That is probably the worst thing. Well, the death of a child's pretty bad too, but I don't know. Like, all the things that have happened to me has made me stronger, but it opens my eyes to what kind of people walk this earth. Yeah, my kids found out all by themselves too, even though he says that I put all this in their head, and I'm like, of course you would say that, because God forbid your children are smart as adults. I was a daddy's girl, firstborn. My mother was very jealous of me, and after my father died 8 years ago, me and my mother never talked, and let me tell you, I have no remorse. That's sad, Maybella, but I can see that. See, I was always close to my dad, and I think that's why my mother hated me. I believe she hated me. I could do nothing right. She'd put me down. All kinds of weird shit. And I was very close with my grandma, and I think she was jealous of that. I don't know. Either that or she just hated me straight out of the womb. She was, what, 19, 20? Maybe I messed up her good years. She didn't mess them up. I think I did. Cheers. Whatever. She's the one that has to go to her grave with that. I've tried my whole life to please her. Not anymore. That is hard to get over, my Bella. That is really hard to get over. My son would have been 32. My son Brandon. 32 years old. That's crazy. Life's going by way too fast. Way too fast. Now, and people said, wait till your kids move out of the house and have their own life. Life goes way too fast, and it is. I mean, my God, my dad's 81. And I mean, and he's not perfect. He grew up shitty. He grew up with an abusive dad who treated him horrible. But some people don't learn from that. That's what I don't get. Why don't they learn and make it way better? Never repeat the behavior. My dad's never been abusive to me, let's put it that way. But he got remarried and they had a child, and then, you know what I'm saying? That became his life. So, we all know that happens. My mother was one of the very first women drill sergeants in the Army. My dad was 82nd Airborne. I often wonder where the hell I came from. That sucks. Sorry for those who lost. Yeah. I'm sorry for you that have lost. My son died at 32. That's horrible, Maybella. Jan says, I was supposed to be a boy. Shelly knows my story. My mom had a stillborn boy a year before I was born. Then they had my younger brother, who's the spoiled ghost. Questions. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. Or I'm trying to figure that out. But I don't really care anymore. That's years of therapy under my belt, and I don't care anymore. It's their problem, not yours. So they either want you in their life or they don't, but they can't demand it, and they can't demand respect. They have to earn it. And they got to treat you with respect. If they can't, there's a truck. They can't just demand respect, okay? And that's why I've told my daughter, love your dad, but he can't demand respect, okay? He's got to earn it. And he's got to be kind. He can't be a bully. He can't think that just because you're his child that he can interfere and cross boundaries. I will save you tons of therapy if you decide that in your own head. Oh, Beth, I'm sorry. I can't even. I can't even. I'm not crying tonight. You're not going to make me. Yeah, that truck. This is one of them towns. Yeah, any spinner, any muffler system they can put on in their garage with a welding tool. That's what you get to hear around here. You know, podunk America. People want what they want, but they can't afford the high-end shit. I am sorry to all moms that have lost. Yes. I'm going to tell you right now, Jesus called them home for a reason. You'll be with them again, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, I know there's a lot of you out there. I just don't want you to carry, like, it still hurts. I mean, don't get me wrong. I will never question again my value to someone like that. But, because here's what happened. Okay, so my son was coming home, right? So my ex-husband's collecting his days he's going to get with our son. My mom's collecting her days. So she's on the phone with me and saying, well, he's going to go here on these days. I go, hold up. Are you people going to let me know when I'm going to see my son? Because this is not going to happen. And she was like, oh, well, he wants to stay here Tuesday and Wednesday night on the lake. Perfect. You've got your 2 nights. Bravo. I'll come out there and hang out because I want to be with my son every day I can. Well, then my ex-husband's family was coming on Thursday, Friday, and leaving Saturday. So let me get this straight. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Huh, and he's leaving Monday. Interesting. So I was immediately pushed to the walls. Because in my old days, I would be like, well, just let me know when I can see him. I don't want to stir up a hornet's nest. Hell no, I was mad. So I said, okay, we're going to work all the schedule out. Talked to my ex-husband and said, hey, these are your nights. And then my son was going to come stay the night with me and my daughter on Thursday and Friday night because my ex's house was full of his family. So perfect. But he didn't come till 10 at night. So on Saturday, now remember, my mom had her 2 days on the lake. That's all she wanted. Everybody ate her food. We had a barbecue. We went on the boats. We had a great time. We're all happy. So then Saturday rolls around, and I'll be damned. My son decides he's not going to spend the day at his dad's for certain reasons. None of my control. And before I even found out, my mom had called him and said, hey, come out here today and come out on the boat. So my son's like, oh, we're going to go out to Grandma's on the boat. I go, I have a question. Did you call Grandma or did Grandma call you? Well, Grandma called me. I said, oh, okay. And he goes, well, are you going to come out there? I go, no. No, I've been out there. I've been out there 14 hours on the boat. Not really the boat thing for me. I want to do some other stuff. And you go ahead. Give me a call when you get back. And we'll hang out. And so that's what happened. But had she not called him, and then I would have been able to make plans with them. I mean, I felt like it was, nah, 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 nah. And that, right there, I was like, So you don't want me out there on the boat today. Because I'm going to keep everything cool and calm. I was like, no, I want to get some stuff done. I got some stores to go to. I have things to finish up here. I'm not really in a sit on the boat kind of mood. But you go out there, and then when you come back, we'll go out to dinner, and we'll do something tomorrow all day. Like, let's walk downtown. Let's go shopping. Let's eat out. Let's sit by the water, like, and enjoy the beauty of this town and all the souvenir shops and everything you have going on. And he's like, yeah, that's what we'll do. So I didn't go out there, but I did call her, and I said, so what are you up to today? She goes, well, we're going to go out on the boat. Aren't you coming? I go, I wasn't even called. I wasn't even asked. I had no idea this was going on. But poo-poo it away. Just poo-poo it away. No, I'm sorry. Or, hey, are you and your son doing something today? That's my son. I feel like they spend all their time figuring out how to get to me. And trust me, I had the talk with my son. I said, I don't play games, but we kind of figured everything out so there'd be no drama, because there's always drama up here. And of course there's drama, and I'm not going to have no part of it. And there you go. So I explained it to my son in a very calm, nice way. I'm no longer a place to rub your feet off on me. I'm just not that person anymore. So, of course, I have not heard hide nor hair from my mother. She knows what she did. She knows it. She doesn't want to call me. Because if she calls me, we have to have the talk. And then she'll try to figure out a way to make me such a bad person. And, oh, of course you would think that. Yes, I am the oldest. I went through all the bullshit. All the bullshit. I was put down for everything that everyone else repeated, and then it was no big deal. I was the first one to get pregnant out of wedlock. Do you think you deserve to wear white? Sure. It's just a color. Then everybody in my family got pregnant out of wedlock. Oh, well, we should have a wedding for you. We should help you out. Not me. I was on my own. Like I should have been running around with some letter on me. Right? What did your sister say about all of that? My sister understands. Her and I, we both been through it, but she knows I've been through it worse. Yeah, Lisa Z, you know. The first one to step their foot in shit is stupid. After that, everyone else, oh my goodness, let's help you out. Yeah, we know how it goes. But you take it personally for so long until you figure out, oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. Oh, once it makes sense to you, you take complete control of your life. And then you put up boundaries and you stick by the boundaries. You're like, well, sorry you feel that way, but it's the truth. So, talk to you whenever. Have a good day.